Greetings all you Metamaniacs, this is TMoney G, and I have a special treat for you today. Kind of an after-hours look into the Operation Metaverse behind the scenes, where GoodOl'Maurice goes off about Darth Revan's kit. Of course I ask his permission after, but while he's ranting, he doesn't actually know I'm recording, so it's very, frank. Curious? Here's a little taste of what to expect after I go into the basics of Darth Revan's kit, just so you have some context as to what GoodOl'Maurice is so excited about.
So he has 100% defense penetration with a basic that buff blocks and reduces his own cooldowns. He can shock, AoE fear, and just at the start of each Sith Empire ally's turn, go ahead and dispel all the foresight on all enemies,
which
can't be affected. That's so stupid. Completely render dozens of characters completely useless. Oh, these poor guys that just got light side Revan. Oh, yikes. Holy fucking hell. Man, you might be able to beat them on offense. On defense, they don't stand a chance.
A lot of insight and a lot of hilarity in it, so I hope you enjoy. First, I'm going to go over Revan's kit very briefly, just so you guys are oriented to it, and you can have some context as to what GoodOl'Maurice is talking about. Let's start with his basic. He's a special damage character, and on his basic, which is called Lacerate, he inflicts buff immunity on the target enemy and the enemy leader for 2 turns. If the target is the leader, his cooldowns are reduced by 1. The cooldown reduction is significant because his 2 specials are really nothing we've ever seen in the game before. He deals an AoE shock to the entire enemy team for 2 turns, and all of his allies gain 5 stacks of ferocity, something that gives them negative 15 defense and tenacity per stack, but plus 8% offense and potency, and this buff cannot be copied. The second special is called Insanity, and it deals special damage to the target enemy and inflicts fear on them and the enemy leader for a turn. But if the target is the leader, or the leader is defeated, all of the enemies get fear for a turn. Can't be copied, dispelled, resisted, and this attack can't be evaded. I think other than Isolate and Fracture, this is one of the only abilities in the game that cannot be resisted or evaded. Fear means they'll miss the next turn, they can't use their abilities, and they can't evade. It increases all of their cooldowns by 1, and then Fear expires if they take damage from an attack. The leader, Empire allies are immune to turn meter reduction while they're debuffed. They gain 10% critical chance and 15 speed for each of their own debuffs, and at the start of each Empire ally's turn they gain 5 stacks of ferocity. At the start of the battle, if all of the allies are Sith Empire, they have plus 50% critical damage. We don't know the base stats, but there's potential for this team to be hugely offensive. At the end of each turn, if an enemy falls below 50% health during that turn, get this, inflict death mark on the enemy leader for a turn, which cannot be copied, dispelled, evaded, or resisted. He has 2 uniques that are equally as shocking. His first unique is called Conqueror. He has 100% defense penetration. At the start of each Sith Empire ally's turn, all of the foresight is gone, and this can't be evaded. When a Sith Empire ally is afflicted with ability block or stun, they dispel that buff and gain ferocity for 2 turns. So essentially the whole team is immune to ability block or stun, and we know how incredibly difficult this makes things with Darth Revan. And to top this off, enemies cannot assist or gain bonus moves if their attack is targeting Darth Revan. The final unique is called Villain. When Darth Revan uses an ability during the turn, if the selected target is already inflicted with Deathmark Fear or Corrupted Battle Meditation from Darkside Bastila, Darth Revan immediately uses Lacerate, which is his basic, the one that reduces his own cooldowns. When Fear expires on an enemy, they also dispel all buffs on themselves. And when Darth Revan's health falls below 50%, it's equalized with the other healthiest ally. So there you go. That was a very quick overview. I will mention finally that there are 3 Zetas. Each of his unique has a Zeta as well as his leadership, though we don't know exactly what abilities are improved by these Zetas. There's also a new tag that Darth Revan gets, and it looks like HK-47, Sith Marauder, Sith Trooper, Sith Assassin, and Bastila Fallen will also get this tag. It's called Sith Empire. I assume this is to separate them from the Sith a little bit and give them a special synergy among them that can't be shared or it would absolutely break the game, even more than this character will already. Okay, here's what you've been waiting for. For the next 10 minutes, GoodOl'Maurice will go into the kit, explaining it and relating it to different aspects of the game, to reveal how incredibly powerful this new character will be. I hope you enjoy this uncensored and insightful look into our new Darth Revan.
I can't believe that basic attack. That is absolutely insane. You do a basic attack on the leader and you're reducing this insanity move, the purple ribbon move, that's just going to spam fear everywhere. God, you better... Ooh, you're going to have to protect that leader. You cannot let Darth Revan get to that leader. So, like, Revan is no more. Light side Revan doesn't stand a chance. Unless... The only way this is going to be balanced is if Darth Revan is slow, you know? Because then Revan, the light side Revan, would have a chance because he would go first.
Yeah, that'll be a really important thing to see his base speed.
That ferocity, that thing that we thought might determine defense, no, it's negative. When you do the AoE shock move, you give everybody 5 stacks of ferocity, and it can't be evaded. So you do your AoE, you shock the whole other team, and then you give your team ferocity, and that's negative 15% defense per stack, 8% offense and potency per stack.
Interesting. So they're kind of like, I don't know, like putting themselves out in the open and attacking.
Yeah, they're basically like, I don't know, I'm trying to think, like a berserk mode, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impartial with that. I don't really care. I mean, the potency you're not going to need. You know? I mean, you don't really need the potency. It's kind of wasteful. The offense is helpful. I guess you basically are trading, and that doesn't seem like a very good trade-off. And then the next one, a cooldown of 4, which is also be reducing every time you use the basic. Deal damage, special damage, inflict fear on them, and enemy leader for 1 turn. If the target is the leader, or the leader is defeated, inflict fear on all enemies. So all you have to do, again, is attack the leader. And you can inflict fear on all enemies. Can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. And this attack can't be evaded.
Whoa. That might be the only move in the game like that.
Well,
it can't be,
got one too.
No, her move can be resisted. It can't be evaded. Sorry, no. her move can't be evaded. It can be resisted.
His fear, yeah, it's basically just the team. And this fear can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. So basically, if you can get to the leader, deal special damage to target enemy, inflict fear. So, and then the fear, when they're inflicted with fear, if they start the turn with it, they're not taking it. Miss the next turn, can't use abilities, and can't evade. Increase cooldowns by 1, and fear expires on taking damage from an attack. Inflict fear on all enemies for 1 turn, so it only lasts 1 turn. You know what I mean? So if you hit them before it expires, it goes away. And at the start of the next turn, they're just going to miss the turn, and then fear is going to go away, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I gotta... Oh, like, of course, gifts. They don't even have, like, any... Oh, it's just him, like, swooping in, looking like a douche. Not like it's not showing anything. Well, he does. He jumps in, hi-ya! And then he just, like, sprays them with purple ribbons. It's just like, how... Watch that GIF.
I'm watching it.
Hi-ya! Take these purple webs. Doesn't show fear. Doesn't show how much damage he's doing. Just shows HK and Ordo hanging out, just watching him. I hope the animation's not that slow. Jiminy. Wow. The lightning move looks pretty cool. The Force Storm. Well, it's like, you know, when you go to, like, the science fair as a kid, what are those things called that you touch?
Yeah.
And, like, the beam shooting your fingertips? Yeah, that's what it looks like.
It's a very interesting new strategy.
Yeah, you better protect that son of a... Sith Empire allies are immune to turn meter reduction while they are debuffed. Well, that's interesting. Just assuming, I guess, that you're facing another Darth Revan squad. So, you're immune to turn meter reduction while they are debuffed. And gain 10% crit chance and 15 speed for each of their own debuff. At the start of each Sith Empire ally's turn, they gain 5 stacks of ferocity. So they're going to be, every time they take a turn, they're going to be getting 5 stacks of that They're gonna hit so hard. They're gonna have no defense though.
Huh? They'll be like super fragile and hard hitting.
But that makes things like defense penetration up interesting, as it might. I mean, I guess it still has a slight purpose, but you're basically, if you have that in your team, you're totally shredding you're doing all damage. At the start of battle, if all allies are Sith Empire, they have 50% crit damage with all that stacking offense. Oh boy. Yikes. Yeah, you totally have to use. Sith Marauder is going to be pretty fucking good. Oh, man. All right. I'm glad I got him decked the fuck out. He's going to be good. All these debuffs on both teams is going to give him, for each single debuff on each team. Sith Marauder has 10% defense, 10% health steal, 10% tenacity, and he gets, for each debuff, he gets 2% crit chance, 2% offense, 2% potency. So this is going to be a debuff crazy one. It won't be out of the realm of possibility that there could easily be 20 debuffs floating around in Darth Revan versus Darth Revan, right? So it'd be 40% offense, 40% potency, and 40% crit chance. And you're putting offense down, which will be interesting to see if that offense down is basic applies to the base offense or if it applies to the boosted offense, because if it applies to the boosted offense, that's pretty important. Sith Trooper 2, I've never really paid much attention to that. Sith Assassin is interesting. Like if Darth Revan's really slow and you have to kind of rely on Sith Assassin to get the team going, then it becomes a race of Sith Assassin. Sith Assassin will never go before even like a slow Jedi Knight Revan, you know? Oh my god, at the end of the turn, if an enemy fell below 50% health during that turn, inflict death mark on the enemy leader for one turn.
Yeah, you don't even need to see him, just gets death mark. So much for protecting the leader. God, you're gonna have to go. It's gotta be a fast match.
So much for the health mod meta. Back to protection we go. Damn it. Because you can't let them get to your health pool. Once they get to your health pool, you're yeah, I mean that's because you're gonna have to avoid the death mark, right? On your enemy leader or on your leader, because if your leader gets death mark, then Darth Revan just goes berserk. Like that's you cannot let Darth Revan hit your leader at all costs, right? That seems to be the trend here. And if you just go heavy on health and line of protection, you're going to chew through that protection, and they have so much shock going around on this team that you are once your health pool gets tapped into, it's going to be drained super quick. So, and that won't even be from the damage. That would just be like there. It's feasible that a shocked enemy, once it's their turn, they'll go below 50%. Right? Once they start their turn, they'll go below 50% because of the. Especially if they're like a rebel or something, they lose tons of health from being shocked at the start of the turn, and then that could draw the death marker onto the leader. And then let's say they attack you and you counter, you'll just attack the leader. This could be interesting. I don't really know what to beat this with yet. The uniques are insane. Darth Revan has 100% defense penetration. So he has 100% defense penetration with a basic that buff blocks. It reduces his own cooldowns. He can shock, AoE fear, and just at the start of each Sith Empire ally's turn, go ahead and dispel all the foresight on all enemies, which can't be offended. That's so stupid. Completely renders dozens of characters completely useless. Oh, these poor guys have just got light side Revan. Oh, yikes. Holy man, you might be able to beat them on offense. On defense, they don't stand a chance. Oh, that's just at the start of each turn, just get rid of all the foresight. And then, yeah, and every time your Sith Empire starts his turn, it removes all the foresight.
When a Sith Empire ally is inflicted with ability block or stun, they dispel that debuff. So basically, they're all immune to ability block or stun. That's crazy.
Right, but you also have to remember, at the start of each, like if you're facing like a Revan team or like Yoda, every time he spams that foresight, anytime Sith Empire characters go, it's going to dispel all of those, right? Get rid of all of them. If you have foresight on all 5 of your characters, anytime a Sith Empire character takes a turn, it's going to give HK-47 25% health and 25% protection, because he gets protection and health regained every time a buff is cleansed, used, dispelled, naturally expires. Enemies can't gain bonus. Oh, enemies can't assist or gain
bonus moves if their attack is targeting Revan.
The second one, when Darth Revan uses an ability during their turn. If the selected target is already inflicted with death mark, fear, or corrupted battle meditation. Oh, so cool. Awesome. So he can just go ahead and reduce his cooldown another time. So if you basic attack the leader, he's just going to double whammy you and then have reduce these ridiculous abilities by 2 every time he uses basic attack on the leader. Oh, when fear expires on an enemy, they also dispel all buffs of themselves. Okay.
Wow. Cool. When Darth Revan's health falls below 50%, it's equalized with the other healthiest ally. Holy guacamole.
I hope he is not fast. You know?
He gets bonus speed. What's the bonus speed piece? He gets bonus speed within the lead. So gains 15 speed for each of their own debuffs.
Yeah.
So I bet he's gonna be slow. It can't be. They're not gonna make him 400 speed or something like that. You know, if it's Revan versus Revan, that's gonna be insane.
Yeah, but if it's Revan versus Revan, it kind of balances.
It's just, it's relative.
But I guess there's really no chance of beating this team with any sort of debuff comp, especially if you can't stun.
Or ability block. Yeah.
Stun or ability. No. You can't be doing that cheap. It's like you can't use debuffs, I guess, unless it's a mirror match. But you sure can't use Jedi Revan.